Good evening, everybody. It's Brother Brian here. I'm in the process of loading my truck up and getting ready to go catfishing this evening. It's like 80 degrees out. Tomorrow's supposed to be like 85. Humidity is supposed to be through the roof. And then Sunday, today's Friday, tomorrow's Saturday. Sunday it's going to be about 90 degrees. So I might go fishing Sunday during the day if I can find a nice shade tree, which is probably going to be pretty easy. I'll take my little bivvy with me and a shelter and maybe even a fan. But I'm in the process of getting ready to go fishing. I almost wanted to talk about my simple techniques to catching catfish. Okay, there's things that you could do that are really simple and basic, and a lot of you that fish will already know what I'm talking about, and I hope you agree or have had the same type of experiences in your life. I've always had mentors to kind of help me and teach me along the way these little simple things that help me catch catfish. And I'm going to try to catch some carp too while I'm going fishing tonight. But I'm not going to be focusing on it in this particular video on the carp. I'm going to be focusing on the catfish. It seems like the carp are kind of spawning. Whenever that cottonwood starts falling off the trees and stuff, it makes it a lot harder to catch the carp. But I still catch them, but it's a little tougher. They're spawning. They're eating the cottonwood. They're just not that interested. I mean, you can still catch them, but it's not that easy. But the catfish, seems like the catfish right now, when everything starts getting steamy and humid and hot, I think tonight it's supposed to get down to about 65, which is going to be absolutely beautiful weather to fish. 65 degrees at nighttime is just wonderful. I mean, you really don't even need a jacket. At least I don't. I might have a jacket on or something just to keep the mosquitoes off, but it doesn't seem like the mosquitoes are too bad. I usually take a citronellus with me. But I had mentors in my life that helped me out. Hell, I had it's grandpa. You had these grandpas. I call them, I never had a grandpa, but I had plenty of the gray-haired grandpa fishermen out there that always, when I was a youngster, that always took me under their wings, showed me different things, and I always remembered them. And it seems like nowadays, with this social media, everybody's got all this fish trackers on the apps and silly shit like that. They've kind of lost the basics of fishing. So I want to run through this video and show you what I do. It makes my trip very enjoyable, very fun and pleasant. And so stick with me. I'll show you step by step. We'll jump to this. It won't be the best video in the world, but I hope you enjoy it. So stick with me. Here we go. Alright, right back here behind the garage, I have a compost pile. What you do is you get you a compost pile, and these little critters right here, you put them in a coffee can, just like they used to do in the old time. Look at this here. See if we can find us some worms. Look, it's just full of worms back here. Fresh, straight out of the ground. Haven't been sitting in the store, refrigerator, for months on end. You just get through this compost pile. Compost piles are very nice for fishing. Look at here. It's full of worms. Just get you a shovel. Dig through this compost pile. You can get you a dozen worms in about 2 minutes. That's all you need. Look at there. Nice old worms. Let's get you some of these little green worms. There's another one. Another little worm. Get the red worms. Red worms actually have more scent than a night crawler. There's a nice one right there. See that? Just right there. Didn't even have to go very far at all. Worms love compost. Yep. Another one right there. Another worm. I mean, just boom. I didn't even have to walk or anything. Just stacked and packed in here. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Get you some dirt. Put you some fresh dirt in there. Now keep your worms. You know, I'll tell you, wherever you keep your beer, that's where you keep your worms. Alright? See, I got me a little compost pile right here behind the garage. Don't never have to buy bait. Alright. Alright, now I'm back out at the lake. Okay, I arrived at the lake a few minutes ago. I've got my coffee can with worms. So what you got to do now is, look at all the cottonwood on the lake, man. It's going to be tough fishing here today. It's going to be tough fishing. The cottonwood's falling. It's hard to catch carp when it's like this. What you do with your worms now is you get you a little bluegill rod. Okay, I just got me a little rod here. I got me a little hook here. You go around, and now you got to catch you some catfish bait. Okay? So you take those worms that you caught. Oh, wait a minute. Please excuse me for 1 second. It's a little bit warm out. Oh, yeah. Cheers. This is what we do, too. We drink a little beer while we're at the lake. So you get your pole, your bluegill rod, and you go around and you catch bait. Get you some bluegills, some little rock bass, whatever. This is the lake I'm fishing. This is the bait the fish in this lake like to hit. Okay? You're not going to find any better bait than what you're going to catch at the lake you're actually fishing at. Okay? So you just go around. Don't go to the store and spend all this money on elaborate baits and all this crap. When you're catfishing, you know, one of the misconceptions of catfishing is everybody says you got to use old, stinky, smelly bait, and that's really not true. Where I live in Ohio, I live down just around Dayton, Ohio. The fresher the bait, the bigger the fish you're going to catch, and the more fish you're going to catch. Okay. And I'm sorry if it's got a little echo. I got it sitting in the back of the truck here a little bit. But I always like using fresh bait. Get the freshest bait you can. Let me show you something here. Now the camera might wiggle a little bit, but I'll try not to let you fall. Get you a cutting board. I just bring a piece of wood out. You can see all the fish scales on that. I've done a lot of catfishing with this. And then get you a nice knife. Look at the scales. There's still fish scales on that from my last trip. And then you can cut up your bait. Get you some nice bluegills. Cut them up. Okay. Now I went back here already since I've been here. And I haven't been here but a few minutes, and I've already caught a bucket full of bluegills. Okay. I've turned that can of worms into a nice bucket of catfish bait. Listen at this. You hear that? Listen at that. Nice bluegills in there. Right there. Let me show you here. Nice bluegills. Right there. That's nice, lively. Flopping all over the place. I can't hardly control them. Get you some nice, lively bluegills. You can use them alive. I like to cut them up. Right now, the way I'm fishing right now is I'm taking it and I'm throwing it out on the bottom. Okay? Let me show you my rig. Hang on a second here. Now I'm fishing on the bottom. I'm fishing on the bottom of the lake, but I still have a bobber on, okay? So you could do this. All you got to do is, it's probably about 25 foot deep out there. So I'll just set a bobber stop about 30 to 35 foot deep. And I'll just leave the bobber on. It's a sliding bobber. The line slides through. And it'll go to the bottom. And then I'll set my rod on a rod holder. Okay, I've got an 11 foot St. Croix rod with an Ambassador 6000 reel, which is just fine for what I'm doing. And I turn that clicker on. The line comes out, it comes out freely. So I'll throw it out. I'll try to sink my line down underneath the cottonwood the best that I can. And I'll just turn the clicker on. And I'll let it sit on the bottom. I usually, what I'll do is I'll take a piece of a bluegill, take a bluegill head, or take a piece of the bluegill's body, and I'll just let it sit there. And when you cut it and it's freshly cut, it'll kind of bleed out on the bottom of the lake, and that leaves a nice fresh smell. You know, just think about it. It's just like if you like steak, you know, the fresher the steak is that you eat, the better it's going to taste. If you like salmon, you know, fresh wild caught salmon, it's going to taste delicious, you know, when you're grilling it up. It's just going to be wonderful. And it's not going to be like something that's been sitting in the freezer for 6 months and you pulled it out and unthawed it. And just, that's the mentality, is when you come catfishing, you got to use some nice fresh bait when you go catfishing, okay? So just remember, you can take that old can of worms that Grandpa, you always seen Grandpa have, and turn it into a bucket of bluegills without going to the store and having to buy a bunch of bait. So let me get my rods out. I'm fishing all night. It's about 6:30, 7 o'clock right now. I'm gonna fish till 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. You know, if I catch a couple fish, I'll show you those fish in this video as well. So right after I click this off, hell, it might be 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, who knows. But here we go. All right, I haven't been here very long at all. I had one hit on one rod. My drag was too loose, and when I went to set the hook, all it did was pull the drag out. So I had to tighten it up, missed that fish. Threw it back out. A little fish hit it immediately. And I'm sitting there watching that little fish hit it. And then my other rod took off. And I caught the fish. It's not a very big one. He's a nice little fat channel cat. Feisty thing here. Not a monster, but he's nice and fat. Look at that belly on that dude. So, first fish, fuck it, I'll take it. Off we go. All right, there's my rod. There's one of them there. And there's my other one there with my bucket of bait. See if I can show you here. Zoom in. That's my line. Just covered in cottonwood. I just caught that cat and he ran right into my other line over here. Tangled up, cottonwood from hell. So I ended up having to cut my line. This rod is, you know, right now it's just sitting without a bobber on the bottom. We're gonna try that out. Maybe that'll be better, just to eliminate the bobber. Oh. We just got a little nibble there. There he goes. Just got a hit. Let me go sit this down, see if we can catch a fish for you. He's still going. Well, hell, I thought I was going to catch you a fish on there. He ended up letting it go. I probably could have got him if I wasn't playing with my phone here. But I'll tell you what, it's been like that since I've been here. I mean, just these fish are just hitting and hitting. So, and it's not even dark yet. So, as tough as the conditions are with the cottonwood, let me show you. Look, you see the cottonwood down there on the bank. See all the cottonwood? This lake's just covered in it. And sometimes when it's tough fishing, you can catch some fish. So I'll show you part of the problem. I just frilled that a little bit. You get these balls of cottonwood here, and these level one reels, it wants to get caught right there. So if I get a big fish, I'm going to be in trouble. That's all right. That's some good trouble. It's beautiful out here tonight. It's a little sticky, a little stuffy. I put my carp rod out. My carp rod, I keep it kind of away from my cat rods. And I always bring 2 nets. There's a net there. My carp rod's sitting. Got some dough ball on it. It's a pack bait rig. So it's been a good time though. I tell you, I haven't even drank my first beer yet. My beer's probably warm. It's been non-stop action, so I'm afraid I might run out of bait, which is a good thing too, which means I'll just have to go up to the bait house and see what they got if I do run out. So I've had a hell of a year. It's been an absolutely wonderful year fishing. I mean, it has been probably one of the best years fishing of my life. I go out and I catch, you know, I got a net sitting there for those rods. But I've caught 3 fish at one time this year. I mean, it has just been fire. You know, I got a 26-pound carp, 24-pound carp, 30-pound carp, 31-pound blue cat, 27-pound blue cat, 17-pound channel cat. And I mean, it's just been an absolute wonderful spring coming into summer fishing for me, so I have no complaints. So it's going to be my first hot night trip. Last time I fished at nighttime this year, it was 37 degrees. Tonight it's going to be pretty nice, so I think we're going to get some action. All right, stay tuned. All right, I got a little kitty cat here I'm going to show you guys. Not very big, but figured I'd show it off to you guys. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me see here. There you go. Just a little guy. Little cat. Take it though. All right, man. Catching them. What's up, people? I just caught a big old blue cat. I don't even know how much it weighs. Look at this son of a bitch. Look at that. Woo! Look at that. Big old cat, son. Whew. Hey, I appreciate you guys watching the video, man. That's all I got for you, fellas. Enjoy.